Listen, okay, listen, this is a freaking emergency. This is a missional emergency. Valentine's Day is coming. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all. This day out of the year is a special one because it's either going to be the absolute best day or worst day of the year. I'm not even kidding. I've been on this planet for over 3 decades, y'all. I don't even know how. I'm like 34. Okay. I've been around the block. Let me tell you something. Valentine's Day is going to be either a heartbreaker for some of y'all out there or one of the best days ever. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. Let me get my coffee real quick. All right. Get your coffee. All right. Take a sip. Let's do this, y'all. Here's to a great Valentine's Day. You need to be having a great Valentine's Day. You do not need to feel like a loser. You don't need to feel alone. You don't need to be sitting there depressed and longing. So I'm going to tell you the most important thing you can do this Valentine's Day. Whether you're single or married or in a relationship, wherever you're at, the most important thing you can do. So let's jump right in, okay? Got some coffee. We're ready to go. We got the music. All right. By the way, coffee is from milkandmiel.coffee. That's M-I-E-L, Spanish word for honey. Get it? Milk and honey. Milkandmiel.coffee. Greatest freaking coffee ever. Oh, I'm feeling it, y'all. Sorry, I'm being so dramatic. Okay, here we go. This year, go on a date with God, especially to the single people out there. I'm going to give you one of the greatest tips you can ever do on Valentine's Day. Go on a date with God, and I'm going to give you 6 reasons as to why I would recommend this. Okay, here we go. Number 1, all right, you should go on a date with God because no matter what, I don't care where you are, He is first and foremost, should be the highest, most romantic love of your life. And that, to me, is something you should never stop doing. On Valentine's Day, I celebrate things, y'all. I don't wait till you should love God every day. Yeah, that's a given, y'all. Anytime I can find an excuse to like ramp things up, I'm a New Year's resolutionist, y'all. I absolutely get into that stuff. I have fun with it. Any time I can find an excuse to try to amp up something in my life, I'm going to jump on it. Okay, and this is another one. Go on a date with God. And this really helped me. It's transformed my life. I'm about to get into that. But just, number 1, just that truth. Go on a date with God so that you're spending, and make that a habit every year, you have a day where you see Him and think of Him that way, and that you want to pursue Him and court Him and love on Him. So go on a date with God. Number 2, courting God. Okay, this changed my life. This led to my marriage. This led to complete breakthroughs in my dating life. And I'm not kidding. There is something special about when you court someone. Or for anyone who's married, you might relate to this. If you're trying to get married, I'm going to tell you how it is. When you court someone, you put your best foot forward. You're willing to do anything to win that special someone. You're willing to freaking learn how to do backflips, if that's what it takes, to win the heart of a person, because you want them more than anything, and you want them to be your lifelong partner. But we never think of God this way, y'all. He's an afterthought. That's like the meme, like He's a thought. That's like how people treat Him if you're going off actions. And that's unacceptable. It's not biblical. So what happened is, all of a sudden, when I started learning to court God, I started learning that skill, and it was able to set me up for success to be able to win my wife over and marry her. Okay, so I'm rolling into point 3, and all this is intertwined. Okay, learn to be romantic with God. Does that make any sense? It's like, it's a great step in learning how to be romantic with a person. Learn to be romantic with God. He invented love, y'all. He is love. So when you start learning to be romantic with Him, it's like, maybe you write a sweet love note to Him. Maybe you write a song for Him. Maybe you recite a poem for Him. Maybe you do a gesture and offer up some kind of a gift to Him. But it's like, when you start taking steps of learning how to be romantic with God, it's absolutely going to translate into your love life. But if that's non-existent, if it's not even there, you're not going to be able to be romantic with a person, okay? And that leads into 4. Your love for God is going to be how you love a person. I'm not even kidding. That's not metaphorical. That's not an exaggeration, okay? If you don't care, if you don't give Him time, if you won't have a relationship with Him, if you won't maintain a relationship with Him, if you give Him your absolute worst, you don't give Him your absolute best, you give Him nothing, If your efforts on a scale of 1 to 10 to God are -5, that's how you're going to treat people. That's how you're going to treat others. That's how you're going to treat your future boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, your current one. You may already have been doing this. Maybe you've got a failed relationship where this is what you did. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what, this is all of us. This is all of us. Like, it's not just you listening to this. This is us as Christians, as a team. We're all guilty of this stuff. How we love God is how we love others. Or how we don't love God is going to be how we don't love others. Okay? So learn to be romantic and court God, and that will translate into courting a person. Okay? And number 5, does he not deserve a date with you? In all honesty, I mean, he only created you. He gives you every breath. Every good thing in your life is from him. He sent his son to die for us. He forgave us while we were sinners. Think of the worst thing you've ever done in your life. You know, that awful, gross, horrendous, disgusting thing that nobody in the world knows about? It was in that moment that he sent his son to die for you. Like, think of that, okay? So he deserves this. He deserves a date from us, okay? And this leads me into the final point. Before I jump into that, if this stuff is helping you guys, like, comment, subscribe. That helps YouTube to push this out there to Christians who need to hear this stuff. Or maybe you even know somebody you can send this stuff to. But it's like, look, y'all, this channel is dedicated to helping you and all the missionaries out there, to helping us as a team succeed as missionaries, because we cannot help others if we can't even get our own lives in check. So I'm here to help you as this generation of missionaries and the upcoming generation. I'm here to help you guys succeed, because when you start succeeding and get your life in order, from that success, from the overflow of joy that you will have an abundance to pass on to others. That's what it is to be a missionary. It's to remove the speck and help somebody with theirs. It's to learn how to succeed at life and in your own walk in faith and pass it on. So that's why I'm doing this, you guys. I'm passing this on to you, okay? So if it helps, like I said, subscribe. I'm trying to hit that 1,000 mark, y'all. We're going to save the world. We're going to help 1 million people one way or another. So I'm asking you to be part of this journey. Okay, so here's the last point, okay? Recognize that Valentine's Day is going to be one of the best or worst days of the year, depending on how you spend it. And I want you to think about that for a second. And I'll get into where this really changed my life. So there was a season where I'm finally finding God, and I'm escaping the old past me, the old player, the lost soul. And I'm trying to get close with God, but I'm feeling lonely now. But I don't know anything about how to succeed in a relationship. So, and I knew I was going to feel lonely. So I started every single day, honestly, not even just Valentine's Day, going on a date with God. I would get off work. I would go to this one coffee shop where I knew they had candles that they would start lighting as it got dark. And I would just take my Bible, or maybe I'd have the app on an iPad or something. And I would just go there for hours and just get a coffee and just have a date with God. And I would try to talk to him, and I try to say romantic things to him. And I started doing this. And so Saturday night would come along. You'd have all these couples in there and people hanging out together. And then you just have me in this one corner, or somewhere in there, just by myself, reading scripture on a date with God. And maybe it looked lonely, but I didn't feel alone. You know what I'm saying? Felt a lot better than just sitting at home, just crying to yourself and feeling the pain of being alone. But in that, it's it started teaching me to hang in there. And it started teaching me to trust and put God first. And then when opportunities to if they start presenting themselves where you could date the wrong person, you're not going to even be interested. You're going to be yeah, no thanks. Stay away from me. I'm not abandoning God. God is the love of my life. And then after doing this stuff day in and day out, my faith started growing. And it even led me to want to become a full-time missionary. And then fast forward, that's how I met my wife. And when I started courting her, full circle, when it was going on some of our first dates, I took her to the exact place I used to take God on dates to. And I took her on the exact same date I took God on. And and in that moment, it's that very same night, I ended up asking her to be my girlfriend. She said yes. And it led to our marriage. So I'm telling you guys, this stuff sounds cheesy, but I'm telling you, this led to my marriage. So you guys, Valentine's Day is coming up. Take God on a date. Okay. Hope this helps you guys. I love you guys. If it does, there's a little link below where you can buy me a coffee, okay? Or there's a link below where you can buy you a coffee at milkandmiel.coffee. And you know what? If you can't afford anything, that's cool too. Like I said, if you just like, comment, subscribe, that helps push this out. And hey, if you got something you're dealing with, okay, like anything that's going on, I don't care what it is, leave it in the comments below, y'all. This channel, it's small, at least as of now, you know, so I'll make a video dedicated to exactly what you're asking or needing. So love you guys. I'm rooting for you. God bless. May you have an incredible Valentine's Day one way or another. In Jesus' name. All right. We'll talk to y'all soon.